Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my goodness, it's been a long minute. I know life has been lifing. I'm so grateful to be back today. How have you guys been? Please tell me in the comment section. Thank you so much to everyone that reached out to me to check if I was fine. You know how it is, immigration, moving to a new place, trying to get your life together. Anyway, all the gist will come in the coming weeks. But today I'll be talking about the culture shocks that I've experienced coming to Canada from the UK. And I really hope that it helps you see or gives you some perspective what to expect, especially if you're moving to Canada from the UK. If you're new here or if this is my first video you're seeing, hello, hi, welcome to the Wura Go channel. Please don't let this be the last video you're seeing. Click the subscribe button, check through the channel to see resources that can be useful for you. And if you're a returning subscriber, you already know how much I love you. Thank you so much for coming back and welcome back. Now, straight into the video. So, backstory, when I was coming to Canada from the UK, in my mind, in my innocent mind, I just thought abroad is abroad. Like, how bad can it be? Like, I really didn't even give it a thought. Unlike when I was moving from Nigeria to the UK, I knew that I expected things to be different. So I wasn't surprised when I got there, and like I was more excited to see. So coming to Canada, I came with the mind, I didn't even have it in mind, but I think my subconscious just thought abroad is abroad. Like, how bad can it be? It's going to be similar, copy and paste and everything. Anyway, this leads me to my number one culture shock. Number one, everything in Canada is big. Oh my goodness. Everything is big. From the roads to the cars to every single thing you see is big. The food sizes are even bigger than what we have in the UK. For instance, when we landed, my husband rented a car, so we picked up the car. First of all, when I saw the car, I was like, ha. When we're leaving the UK, we drove an SUV from our house to the airport. And this SUV, we literally squeezed ourselves in it. Only my daughter could sit at the back. I had to sit in front with my husband and even had like one box on my lap. My daughter too was squeezed, and then the boots were full with our luggage. And we got to Canada to pick up the SUV that we had rented, and everything fit. Almost everything fit in the boot. Like there was abundance of space, and I was like, shit, was it my SUV that we used when we were coming just last night? And then now, like the difference was massive. And I was asking my husband that, what's the difference? Was that not a big SUV and all of that? That's the first thing that dawned on me that, wow, the cars here are big. And then we got on the highway or motorway. We got on the highway and then we started to see big cars, like really, really big cars. And then I was like, oh, wow, the roads were so big, like 4, 5 lanes, and they were not even the major road, like very, very big. I don't know, everything was just big. Expressway, road, everything big, 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 big. So I feel like for me, that was like the first jaw dropping thing that I realized that, wow, everything is big. This country is a big country. I didn't expect it compared to the UK where everything is very compact. In fact, for my comparison, I think that a single lane here in Canada is way bigger than a double lane in the UK. Also, I know that someone can be watching this and be like, what do you expect? I know that it's not the first time I'm hearing that, oh, Canada is bigger than Nigeria. Canada, I just feel like I never actually imagined it. Canada is way, way, and I'm just in Ontario. So imagine, I've never seen a pinch. I've just seen only a little bit, and it is so big. Another thing that I was quick to notice was the size of the houses. Houses in Canada are bigger than houses in the UK. Also, houses are very well ventilated in Canada. Like, I don't know how they do it, but we don't open windows in Canada. That's something that you can hardly ever do, especially in summer in the UK. Most people open their windows. Most people, for ventilation, for proper ventilation to come in. But somehow they've done it so well, perfected it here in Canada that I don't think I've ever seen an open window like for ventilation sake. I'm sure I've never seen one. Number two culture shock for me is the tax. Oh my goodness, I never expected it. I know I have heard it before, but I just didn't imagine what it will feel like. And I felt some resistance for a lot of, weeks. Like every time I have to pay for something, it frustrates me to know that I have to pay extra for tax, especially because what you see is not what you get. Now you're shopping on the aisle, you're in Walmart or somewhere, and you're buying something, you have your budget, you're seeing the price. That price that you're seeing is not what you're paying at the till. It is not what you're paying at the till, and it's something that I found very hard to comprehend at the beginning. I was actually frustrated. Not like we didn't need to pay tax in the UK, but what you see on the higher is what you get, what you see. So you can, based on what you are picking, you can be calculating, okay, plus this, plus this, plus this, and it won't change in the UK. But here, as you're calculating, be using your mind to remember tax, HST, GST. In Ontario, where I am, it's 13% HST, and it is well. You just pay tax on everything. So it was something I struggled with at the beginning. Because of that, sometimes I don't want to buy what I want. I need to buy. When you're ordering something on Amazon as well, you're paying extra on tax and all of that. So for me, because in the UK everything is what you see is what you get, or everything is all in one, I feel like that was something I had to adjust to pretty quickly here in Canada. I think I'm in a much better place with that fact now, but we're getting there. The third point, my people of God, is tipping. I have heard about tipping. In fact, I have heard about tipping in the US, tipping culture in the US. I actually didn't know that it was a thing in Canada as well. Tipping, every single thing that you are doing, you are tipping. Like there's space for tip. Like I'm like, are you trying to rip me off? Rip me off for what? Like I'm already paying tax. I'm tipping you for what? You want to order Uber, you put tip. You order Uber Eats, put tip. I know that one is even generalized in the UK as well. However, I go into a restaurant to, like buy something. I go by myself, place my order. All you do is just, punch the order, and then it comes out to me. Yes, there's tip again. Like the tip is literally in your face. Like it's like they're begging you. That's how it feels to me, to be honest. I know that in the UK we tip as well, because I've gone on group outings that we had tips to the final pay, but it's not as bad. These places, like, they're entitled to it. It's very funny, something I'm finding hard to wrap my head around. Number 4 culture shock for me is the shopping experience in the shops, the stores. So in the UK, for instance, there's a store for your budget. If you don't have money too much, you can go to Primark, you can go to Aldi, you can go to Lidl for food and all that. If you have medium sized money, you can go to Zara, go to H&M, go to you understand. And then if you have plenty money, there are higher stores as well. But here in Canada, first of all, I found it hard to really understand the stores. Second of all, things are ridiculously expensive, especially for things that are not very fine. They are not very fashionable. Most things you see that they hang on the racks are t-shirts and round necks, and they just look very dull. So far in my experience, I honestly feel like in Canada, fashion is basic and your options are limited. Take it from me that I'm not even like the fashion girly. I really feel like things are basic here, and recently I learned from a friend that the best way to shop is online. Your Shein, your Boohoo, Fashion Nova and all that. My opinion and my experience so far, fashion is basic, and UK is way more fashionable than Canada. Way more fashionable and more affordable. My 5th culture shock is about politeness. I feel like most Canadians are very polite. They're cheerful, they smile at you when you're working, especially when you have a baby. They can stand there and look at your baby and be like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. They are so polite and kind in my experience. Most people that I've met are so kind, they're happy to give you a helping hand, open the door for you, they smile at you. So, those little things for me goes a long way, especially as a new immigrant. However, in the UK is usually mind your own business. That's like the main thing in the UK. People mind their business, not very many people will compliment you and all that. So I feel like in that regard, Canada is winning. There's more politeness here, and it was a shock at first when people just see you randomly and compliment you. People are just generally kind in Canada. The number 6 culture shock here is public transportation is not great. If you are coming from the UK, that's something you might first struggle with, because in the UK, you come out of your house, you see the bus, you have the timetable, Google Map is working and all. Well, in the city where I am, London, Ontario, it's not bad. Public transportation is not as bad, but it's not anywhere near the way it is in the UK. And I think I sort of understand it now because the landmass. Not many people are using public transport. Everywhere is far from everywhere. So if the government invests too much in public transport, they definitely will be wasting money and resources because an average Canadian has a car. An average Canadian likes to go on road trips. They like to, explore their country. So I think it makes sense why public transport is not very, popular and is not very accessible like the UK. However, there's still public transport to get you from A to B. Just be calculating hours and hours that you spend on the road. My number 7 culture shock will be the time difference. My goodness. I know that I expected that, oh, the time will be different and all of that. Tell me why I struggled in my first month to adjust to the fact that my timing is now different from the UK and Nigeria. Like, it literally messed with my head. Not even the adjusting to sleeping, but having to know when to call people. I have to be intentional, when to reach out to my people. If not, before I realize it, they're already in the midnight and I'm in the evening and I'm like, what is going on? So it took me a while. And you see, this time difference thing in Canada is so funny because there's a part of Ontario that is using a different time zone within the same province. How crazy is that? So for instance, one of my very good friends is in Fort Francis and I'm in London, Ontario. First of all, within the same province, we're about 16 to 18 hours away from each other. Second of all, we don't use the same time zone. I am 1 hour ahead of her in the same province. And another thing that, I'm in awe of is how different provinces have different time zones. It's something that I've not gotten used to yet. Some people in BC are like 3 hours behind, some are 2 hours behind. Like, so within the same country, you have to be checking time zone as well. It's something I'm still trying to wrap my head around and get used to. And the last on my list is the weather. Yes, I know I have not seen winter in Canada yet. However, the summer that I've seen here was really summering. Like, there was sun. If you step out, it is hot, proper hot, Nigeria hot, kind of hot. Unlike the UK that you step out, even in summer, it can rain, the wind can still be blowing you. You have 1 or 2 days of summer. Here, it is proper hot, and like summer is summering. However, when you are indoor, it's cool. Most houses have AC, well ventilated, so you wouldn't need to leave your windows open and all of that compared to the UK. Well, when I experience the winter here, I'll be able to compare the winter in the UK and in Canada. You guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. It took me a lot to come back. I'm really grateful to be back. I hope to be consistent again. Thank you so much for watching to this point. If you did, if there's anything that shocked you when you first got to Canada, please share in the comment section. Let people know what to expect when they come. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye.